Hello and welcome to Deck Builders Chicago, where we talk all things outdoor living for real homeowners who want solid, safe, long-lasting spaces. Today we're talking about a question a lot of people have, but don't always say out loud. Is my old deck still safe to use? Maybe your deck has been on the back of your house for 20 years. Maybe it came with the home when you bought it. It might look okay from a distance, but you're just not sure if you should trust it with your family, your grill, and your guests. In this episode, I'll walk you through simple checks you can do yourself to get a clearer picture of your deck's condition. We'll stay away from complicated jargon and focus on what actually matters for safety: structure, connections, movement, and moisture. Let's start underneath the deck, if you can access it safely. This is where the real story usually shows up. Look at the posts that hold the deck up. Are they straight, or do they lean or twist? If the posts sit directly on the soil or an old concrete block with no proper footing, that's a red flag. Posts should be on solid footings that don't shift when the ground gets wet or freezes. Next, look at the beams and joists, the horizontal pieces that carry the weight of the deck. You're looking for signs of rot, cracking, or sagging. If you see dark, soft, or crumbling wood, especially where the wood meets metal hardware or sits close to the ground, that wood is likely compromised. You can use a screwdriver to gently press into suspicious spots. If it sinks in easily, the wood is no longer doing its job. Now check how your deck connects to the house. That connection, called the ledger, is one of the most important parts of the entire structure. If it's just nailed on, or if you see gaps, rusted fasteners, or crumbly wood where the deck meets the siding, that's another serious warning sign. A proper deck connection uses lag screws or structural bolts and flashing to keep water out of the wall. Once you've looked underneath, step on top of the deck and pay attention to how it feels. When you walk across it, does it feel firm, or does it bounce more in the middle? A little bit of flex can be normal on older decks, but noticeable movement, rattling, or shaking railings tell you the structure is tired or undersized for the way it's being used. Speaking of railings, let's talk about those for a moment. Railings are often the first thing people grab, and they need to be solid. Stand next to your railing, grab it with both hands, and give it a firm shake. It should not wiggle, rock, or feel loose at the posts. If the posts move at the base, or if your railing feels spongy, that's more than an annoyance. It's a safety issue, especially for kids, older adults, and anyone leaning on it. Take a look at your deck boards too. Some surface cracking is normal, especially with older wood decks, but boards that are badly split, cupped, or soft underfoot need attention. If you press with your foot or a screwdriver and the board feels spongy, it's probably rotting from the inside out. Loose boards, exposed nail heads, and large splinters are all signs that your deck needs repair at minimum. Weather is also a big factor. Here in Chicago, decks deal with heavy snow, freeze-thaw cycles, intense sun, and plenty of rain. All of that expansion and contraction wears on connections, fasteners, and boards. If your deck hasn't been maintained, sealed, or inspected in many years, it's smart to assume that some parts may be weaker than they look at first glance. So what happens if you find issues? Not every problem means you need a brand new deck, but some do. A few bad boards, loose railings, or small areas of rot can often be repaired. On the other hand, widespread rot in posts and beams, a failing connection to the house, or major movement under load are signs that it's time to consider a full replacement. The key is to be honest about what you're seeing and not ignore what your gut is telling you. If you're not sure how serious the issues are, that's where a professional inspection helps. At Tuff Deck Builders Chicago, we look first at structure and safety. Our goal is simple: make sure the deck you're standing on can actually support the people and the use you have in mind. If you ever want a straight answer on your deck, you can reach us at 312-262-7709 or visit tuffdeckbuilderschicago.com for more information. Here's the bottom line. Your deck shouldn't make you nervous. It should feel solid when you walk on it, steady when you lean on the railing, and reliable when you invite friends and family over. Taking a few minutes to check the posts, beams, connections, railings, and boards can give you a much clearer sense of whether your old deck is still safe to use or whether it's time to plan repairs or a rebuild. Thanks for listening to Deck Builders Chicago. If this episode helped you see your deck a little differently, consider taking a closer look this week or reach out to a professional if you're unsure. A safe, strong outdoor space is always worth it, and we're here to help you build something that's truly built to last.